Hey Ruthie, how's it like owning a dog?
Well, I haven't actually owned a dog in several years, but you know what was one of the most frustrating parts of owning a dog?
I don't know. I've never have had a dog.
So my mom's dog, he was a super picky eater. Like, we'd give him wet food and he'd only eat like a couple licks and then he'd go for whatever was on our plates. Luckily, he's a small dog, so it wasn't like a Marmaduke situation.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely helpful. But have you heard about Nom Nom?
Well, funny, I may have, but tell me more.
Nom Nom is fresh food made with whole ingredients, and it's actually backed by veterinary science. Fresh really means fresh at Nom Nom because you can actually see with your eyeballs what your dog is shoving down its throat. For example, you can actually see the proteins in vegetables, like beef, chicken, pork, peas, carrots, kale, and more.
Jeez, that dog's gonna eat better than I do.
Yes, I mean, don't you want your dog to always eat better than you do? I'm out here eating McDonald's like on a daily basis, which is not what I want to feed my dog if I had a dog.
And the funny thing is, I actually know how Nom Nom works. You tell them about your
who
pup.
are you?
Tell them about your pup, the age, the breed, the weight, allergies, and even its protein preferences. And they'll tailor a specific amount of individually packaged Nom Nom meals and send them straight to you. And then you can just store the meals in the freezer or fridge until mealtime. And they give you specific instructions on how to transition your dog from foods like kibble to always fresh Nom Nom for best results. You can watch your dog clean their dishes, dance for dinner, and just overall thrive.
Isn't it time to feel good about the food you're feeding your dog? You go to www.nomnomnow, all squished together, .com/reshoot. Or use code RESHOOT at checkout and get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Plus, Nom Nom comes with a money-back guarantee. That means if your dog doesn't love fresh, delicious meals, Nom Nom will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Nom Nom.
Nom.
Nailed it, first try.
Alright, now on to the show.
So, I really, really, really like the space cowboy shit. Like Firefly, like Cowboy Bebop, kind of The Expanse, like Dark Matter, like all that shit. And then these people fucking do it, and they treat it so fucking horribly that we're never gonna get another one again. We're just gonna get more Star Wars bullshit. Why can't they just get it right? I have a story in my head, and I'm not even a writer, and it's 10 times better than this goddamn awful bullshit, and I don't write shit. Like, I don't know how you can get Space Cowboys this fucking wrong. Zack Snyder, go back to doing 300 movies, please. Nobody needs to.
He has a gay one planned.
A gay 300?
A gay 300. He had he got
300 historically is already gay, guys.
No, I know, but he had one that was legitimately planned as a gay romance. Welcome to Reshoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah.
Welcome to Reshoot, everyone.
Welcome to Reshoot,
Amateur's Guide to Gooder Film.
Discuss
things. Where we discuss movies that are good, bad, somewhere between, and we make them have gay. No, we fix them.
Yes.
Is there a difference? Happy Pride in January.
This one, so, has a good, bad, or somewhere in between. This one squarely fits in the bad.
Oh, dude.
I'm just going to say that right now.
This is almost like, oh, man.
This could have been good. It had shit there.
This could have been so good.
It could have been good.
The pieces are there.
It had the nice little... Your nice little hoagie, your nice little salami, your nice little pepperoni, your tomato, your lettuce, your pepperoncini, your oil and vinegar, and then they shit in it. Just a large turd right there in the hoagie. And they wrap it up and serve it to you. That's Robo Moon.
Yeah, no, it's
nasty.
Jesus Christ. So...
Hello, I am your host, amateur Greek historian,
Ruthie.
I
am your host, a really disappointing Asian stereotype, Hector.
I am your host, Dario Naharis.
Wait, which one?
Head.
From which
That's
episode?
from which season?
Yeah.
Which Dario?
So yeah,
Who's to say?
let me look up the plot because I need to.
It's not
fucking...
you. It's Ed.
Oh, it's Ed.
It's Ed's
Oh
turn.
God, I'm not prepared.
Do you want?
No, it's his
hold
turn.
up.
He can do it.
Okay.
Rebel Moon. Uh, eh, eh. So, should I just read the Wikipedia article verbatim?
It might be long.
That's long. Just
What?
give a short plot summary. Like,
Yes,
people...
I will give it as short as a plot summary as my memory serves, because I did watch this like 2 weeks ago.
I will say,
Or
audience,
longer.
just imagine New Hope, but bad. But everyone's
But no,
stupid or an asshole.
It's really bad compared to New Hope. All right, so movie starts off with a girl plowing fields. Yes, on a moon that's like a moon of a planet that looks like Saturn as a ring. Anyways, whatever. She's plowing fields, moves a rock. I don't know why that scene was there. And then this is like what did I say? She was like, oh no, you guys weren't there. No, she's discount somebody. I forget. Like, and no offense to the actress, she did great. It's just she looks like somebody else. I can't remember who right now. And then I don't know the characters' names. The
Gunner.
Gunner walks up and like starts talking to her, and Gunner is basically discount Dia Luna, and then the guy from Upgrade is discount Tom Hardy. Anyways, I'm gonna get off that. Gunner goes up to her. They talk. I don't know what the hell is going on. They go back to the town. You get to meet the town leader, who's a super cool, swell dude. And a little girl also. Well, not a little girl, like a 18-year-old girl, 17-year-old. I don't know, 16.
Yeah,
something.
like
somewhere in there.
Yeah, like a teenage girl.
Older teens, yeah. And then a big frigate shows up. They can see it in the stratosphere.
Keep in mind, everyone, this movie was pitched as a Star Wars film by Zack Snyder.
Yeah. Also, they were talking in the field about plowing, and then in the village hut, when they were like celebrating, the village chief was talking about the other kind of plowing.
Ah, yes. They
I am
like,
funny.
Kind of like half Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, make sure to fuck tonight, basically, for some reason. I don't remember what they were
saying. Yeah, it was a
celebrating
fertility festival where they have a lot of sex.
Oh, yes. Why don't we have one of those? Anyways.
As a podcast, or
no, just like as a thing.
I know, I'm joking.
Anyways, frigate shows up. Dropship comes down with the noble, also known as Dario Naharis. You know who else is Dario Naharis?
The noble. His name is Atticus Noble.
Atticus Noble. Who is Dario Naharis? You know who else is also Dario Naharis? Gunner is also Dario Naharis.
That's the gag.
That's the gag.
It's okay, everyone. You can leave now. Gag done.
yeah. Just stop listening right now. That was the best thing that I learned about this movie. I totally forgot that the other guy, Noble. Whatever. I'm gonna call him Noble. All right, that's all I remember. Noble.
That's fine. Yeah, you said he's the noble, but I don't know if he's like a noble class. Yeah. His name is Atticus Noble.
Anyways, Noble played Darren Harris in season 3, and then Gunner, what's his name? Something Seeks? I forget his name. And then Mitchell? Mithiel? I forget his name also. Gunner played.
It's sweet.
Darren
You
Harris
think I remember
156.
names like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give credit to the actors. I don't remember. I only know one other actor name in this movie. Anyways.
Nailed it.
I only remember one. Noble comes down with some troops. One of them is General Zod.
Oh, yeah.
Casting in this movie.
It's all over the place.
Yes, and the Noble is like, all right, you guys, we need your grain and shit. You'll like, Darren Harris already sold it to me, old Darren Harris, like last year, some of the grain. We're
Well,
gonna
he's
need,
playing coy about it at first. It's like,
yeah,
oh, I'll pay you like 3 times the amount. How much can you spare? And then Sindri's like, I don't know. I don't know. Let me
yeah,
check.
yeah. They like they play coy, and then Dario, the gunner's like, I'm, yeah, we have surplus, and he ruins everything. And then because the chieftain was kind of like being coy and straight up lying to him about it, and then Gunner like called him out on it accidentally, or not even accidentally, just because the noble said that they were going to give him a lot of money.
3 times the market
Yeah,
price.
3 times the market price, and then Noble kills the leader, and yeah, that happens. And then he's like, I'm gonna want all of it. Basically enough to where they're just gonna starve the townspeople. Also,
Ten
this is like a
thousand bushels out of 12,000.
yeah. Um. Also, this is like a what it's like a 16th century looking. No, even before that, like 14th century, kind of like village kind of looking thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
like
like it
a
looks like Game of
Viking
Thrones, basically.
They're basically they're like space Amish.
Viking
Well,
space
not
Amish.
they're like Viking. They're like Viking space Vikings, but like that's just the vibe.
Amish.
They're not
But like
actually
peaceful.
Vikings.
They're Vinland
Yes.
Saga peaceful Vikings in space. He
Yes,
literally
space
stole from
Vikings
late half Vinland
without
Saga.
the
Okay,
pillaging and such.
so Vinland
Um,
Saga, second half.
yes. Shut up. Um, wow, this is taking already much longer than I wanted it to take. I don't want to dwell on this. Anyways, continuing on. Main lady, I forget her name.
Korra.
Korra.
Cora,
She's
Legend
the main
of
character. You gotta
Cora.
deal with it.
Yeah.
You
She's
really
your
got it.
typical brooding, dark past, mysterious past. You know, main character. She wants to get up and leave, uh, but as she's getting ready to leave the town and just leave them to her own devices, because she showed up there like 2 years prior,
Yeah. Mm.
she sees that the soldiers that showed up are taking a girl, and they're gonna do things that are without consent. Anyways,
Bad.
bad things.
Terrible, unspeakable things.
Um, and she kind of shows up, and then you got some cool 300 fight sequences with slow mo where Chorus shows up and is actually a huge badass. That comes in later. And then oh yeah, the soldiers also brought a like little AI robot. They're part
He's
of a
not
clan, and they
little. He's about their size, but yeah, he's like a pat. He's earlier in the movie. There's a scene with him and the girl. Her name is Sam, and he
mhm.
explains to her that there was a princess, and all the AI robots absolutely loved this princess. And when the princess
She was
died,
basically the avatar of the Omnissiah.
yeah, and when she died, they decided to put down their
Fighting.
weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
just
gave
put
up.
down their weapons and stopped fighting. So they're
Yeah,
not. They're just like literally the ad mech in 40k, minus the murdering and stuff. And yeah. Anyways, he shows up, and Zod has the girl, and he's like has a hostage chokehold with Gunderhead, and Robot like picks up a gun, looks like just like like not even like holding it like a gun, just like he like kind of grabs it, and he's holding it like flat in his hands, and he like looks over at General Zod and just like fires it in this, as he's just like is holding this gun like a platter, like a plate with two
yeah.
hands, and just like shoots him like that. And I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. um and then uh
We never see the robot again.
we do,
Well, later,
but
one more time, but he
yeah,
runs
also
away.
he has a flower crown. The girl makes him a flower crown. It's adorable. I love the robot.
His
Jimmy.
And we don't
Jimmy,
see him
yeah.
again until the end.
What a
And then
waste.
he's got an antler crown.
Yeah, which
No
is actually
explanation.
super cool. He's becoming a warforged druid,
And I
basically.
love it. I
I
love this
love
for
it.
him.
I forget exactly the order of these things happening, but at some point, I don't know if it's Gunner or the village chief that talks to her about the blood axes, that they can help since they're rebels against the Imperium.
It's Gunner because he sells grain to them. Sindri made a
Yes.
comment to it
Yes, yes,
to
yes, yes.
Gunnar because Gunnar's
And
playing the field.
then she leaves by herself to look for the blood
No,
axe.
Gunnar comes with her because Gunnar has the contact in Providence who can
Yeah, but
contact the blood
she
axes.
leaves alone first.
No, she doesn't. Gunner goes
Oh,
with her
Gunnar.
Gunner
straight up.
goes. I thought she was camping, and then Gunner shows up.
No.
I guess
No,
not.
Gunnar like went off to pee or something, and then he comes sits down. Then she gives
Oh, yeah,
tragic
and
backstory.
doesn't Cora trauma dump like right then and there?
Yeah,
Good chunk of
Yeah,
her story,
half,
yeah.
half.
she trauma. Yeah, so Cora trauma dumps on Gunner about her past. How she was just she was a little girl, and the big bad, not Noble, the other big bad. I forget his name. Uh, is that Admiral something?
Belisarius.
Oh yeah, it's Belisarius Call. Belisarius. It's not Call. It's Belisarius. Belisarius Call is a character in 40k. Just,
Yeah, it's like all the shitty parts of Star Wars
it's
and
the
40k.
best. There's
That's
also
this
there's
movie.
the general also his name is also a name from 40k. A Primarch.
Oh, Titus.
Yeah, Titus is a character in 40k, not a Primarch, a Space Marine. Anyways, Cora trauma jumps on Gunner, telling her how she was a kid that was kidnapped by Belisarius, or kind of kidnapped by Belisarius.
No, kidnapped.
Kidnapped by Belisarius.
Well,
Um,
yeah, like her planet got genocided, and as a part of the genocide, she was adopted by Belisarius and
yeah,
trained to be.
after Belisarius gave her an unloaded gun and thought and she pulled the trigger on him. She's like, oh, she's a killer. That's why he kidnapped her.
Mhm.
And then she was giga brainwashed because that's what they do. And she was basically a commissar from
Yep.
40k,
I
like
was about to say
literally
this whole segment feels 40k, right?
Yeah,
yeah. She
it's
looks like a freaking commissar
I
from
don't know what
40k.
that is. I assume that's the human faction.
Yeah,
I just like
it's
the orcs.
ha, paint it red, makes it go faster.
Yes.
Don't get. But yeah, she looks like a commissar, and all that she was missing was a chainsword.
that's an easy fix.
Because she has the haircut for it too, and the outfit, and she was a kind of like that, and super good fighter, whatever, commander, and then she's also like the bodyguard of the princess.
Who can resurrect people.
She has the force, but not
Resurrect
really.
an animal. She resurrected
Well, that
a
we saw, she
bird.
resurrected an animal.
A bird.
But yeah, she has powers and then she dies.
Yeah.
She could
Which
save
is
others, but
really
not
40k,
herself.
because 40k has some fantasy elements. Anyways. She's a psyker.
Or she was supposed to be a Jedi.
I don't. That's not how the Force works. Um,
I'm not going into Old Republic lore.
don't go to Old Republic lore. It's not canon. It's Legends.
Half canon.
Okay, trauma dump over basically for that part. She after the lady dies, she like leaves for some reason. I forget exactly why. Doesn't really matter. She becomes a rebel ish, or just a runaway.
It's
Anyways,
low key implied that she was blamed for Issa's death during the assassination, where the king, the queen, and the princess died on the day of Issa's coronation.
Yeah. I mean, she was her personal bodyguard, so yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Then they go to literally, basically, Mos Eisley, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy on this side of the galaxy. On their planet, it's basically Mos Eisley. They go to a bar. The bar robot's pretty cool. Same thing that happens in Star Wars. Some alien picks a fight with her and
Yeah, but the
Daria.
way he picks a fight's disgusting to me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
The
stupid. Oh
closest
yeah,
thing
he
to
tries
gay
to buy
representation
he tries
is
to buy
Gunner.
Gunner as a slave for things. He thinks that Cora is the owner of Gunner, which is weird. Some Donnie
so
shit. But
slavery's
okay.
a thing. That's how you learn about it.
Yep. And then they get into a fight, and there was a blonde dude that was like eyeing them. There's also a
Kai.
parasite life form that's really cool.
Yeah, the parasite was cool.
They get into a fight. They shoot everybody, and then the blonde dude saves Cora's life by shooting the guy behind her as he got up. She thought he was done. he did it was not, and then shoots him. And he's like, "Hey, it's Charlie Hunnam. What's up, bruh?" And he's a pilot. He has a ship. He's a smuggler.
He's another pilot this time, just not a robot, and so it's a ship,
Yeah, and
Sorry, love.
it's Han Solo.
but not Pacific Rim. Yeah, I know. It's just
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam. I like him. He's a good actor.
I wasn't vibing with his accent.
he was completely wasted in this film. Anyway,
Oh no, everybody was wasted in this film except for literally Cora and Noble. No, everyone was wasted in this film except for Noble and Gunner. Literally.
yeah.
Am I the only one who didn't vibe with with Kai's
He
accent?
talked he had like 4 lines. I don't remember his accent.
I was fine
Wait,
with it.
he spoke with one inflection. It was just always
Oh
Up slightly.
yeah.
no. It was like it's always
Like
diagonal.
whenever he ended a sentence, it didn't sound like he ended a sentence. That's right. Yes,
Because
yes,
it was
I remember.
like a Scottish or like a Northern English accent,
Yeah.
but like way overemphasized. It was not
Mm-hmm,
my vibe.
And the thing is, he is, I think, Scottish or Irish. Charlie Hunnam.
So it's British.
It felt
Yeah,
like he was overdoing it. I think someone put him up to that one.
Yeah, he's bad direction. Zack Snyder. I think I'm not sure if he's from England area. Maybe he's
British.
Scottish.
He's British.
British. Okay.
I watched his Pacific Rim interviews.
Anyways, they get on a ship, and for some reason, they land on a planet where they are trying to pick up this Tarzan-looking dude who is like working his debts off or his crime off as a blacksmith. And then they tell him to like tame this griffin-looking thing, and I'm like, why didn't they just like do this before?
No, you forget
these
that
people showed
they
up?
were like, you forget they were just like, hey, can you if let's make a bet. If he doesn't tame it, then you're all slaves. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like,
Also, he's native coded. He's like long hair,
Yeah.
the right skin
Tarzan-looking
tone.
dude.
Yeah, but they make the native guy the guy who can talk to animals.
Tame a griffin.
Yeah.
There's the griffin taming scene, which is kind of very
it's How to Train Your
Navi?
Dragon.
It's How to Train Your Dragon. It's also the scene, the hippogriff taming scene from Harry Potter. It's Avatar. It's every like dangerous creature. It's like a horse girl movie as well, just kind of sprinkled in there.
Don't forget the fact that he's going in slow mo when he's running, and to jump on the hippogriff or whatever it's called one more time. But then as he jumps, it slows down again, so it's double slow mo.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
300. Yeah, so he
300
does the griffin taming scene. He jumps on the griffin. Whatever. They go back down. Griffin kills the bad guy, dude, because they think it works like a horse. Apparently, it doesn't work like a horse. How
Who would have thought a creature with beak and claws would not behave like a horse?
And feathers. And then they get back on the ship, and then they go to a different planet where they meet this Jedi lady. Or do they pick up Titus first?
No, they get
Nemesis.
Nemesis. They get Nemesis first.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, but yeah.
Whose whole thing is honor.
Jedi lady.
Keep in mind, she's played by an Asian lady.
She's the only Asian in the film.
And this is the one that literally looks more. This one looks like an Inquisitor from 40K. She looks literally like an Inquisitor.
She also looks like an Inquisitor from fucking
Kingdom
Jedi Survivor.
Oh,
yeah, she does look like her hat gave me Kingdom vibes.
Were there some Inquisitors?
I don't know how they found out about Nemesis or anything.
Kai.
What?
Kai brought them to.
Kai's the Tarzan.
No,
that's Turok.
Kai is Charlie
Hunnam. That's right.
It's Kai.
Kai. Turok. Turak. I can't stop making fun of this movie. Oh, my back. So they go to this planet to find Nemesis, Inquisitor-looking lady. She's like honor stuff, whatever. She fights a really cool spider lady that had some sprinkles of very good like base and then wasted. Uh, Twilight Lady lost her hatchlings. She seems to be a native of the planet that's now very cyberpunk, uh, Blade Runner looking shit.
Yeah.
And Nemesis kills her after she had stolen a baby because she lost her babies.
Well, it
Sprinkle
wasn't a
something
baby.
good
This
there.
is it was like a child, but yeah,
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 yeah, but still, like, she's grieving for her babies and steals a baby. They had some good things there, but they wasted it, like
yeah.
everything else in this movie. So they pick up Nemesis and then they go to basically. If you guys have ever heard of the show Spartacus, they just go to Spartacus the planet and they pick up Titus, who was a character in the show Spartacus, where he was a gladiator. And what is he in this movie? A gladiator. And
Oh yeah.
what facial hairstyle does he choose to go with after they pick him up when he's scruffy? His Spartacus facial hairstyle.
And when he was scruffy, they gave him the same kind of style Viking beard that
Yeah,
Sindri had
yeah,
before he got
and then he
clubbed
cleaned
to
up,
death.
and then he looks like he was in Spartacus. It hasn't aged in 15, 20 years. So whatever. I wish I could do that. Um, so they pick up Titus, and then they're like, there's this planet, I forget the name, Blood Axes is there, let's go meet him up. Beat him up. Or just try to get them there. They go to this planet. During all this time, Noble has also picked up that Blood Axes are on that planet, are probably going to go to that planet. They go to the planet. Our crew goes to the planet first. Blood Axes show up. They talk to the Blood Axes. Blood Axe are led by the twins or brother sister combo. Brother chooses to join with our crew along with a couple other rebel Blood Axes. I think they're all called Blood Axes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, and then when they get on the ship, Kai's like, the Charlie Hunnam's like, "Hey, I gotta drop off some smuggled shit. Don't open the boxes." Um, so they go to this like trading outpost, hidden smuggling post, and Kai's like, "Yeah, I got you here. Just take box each. Just drop them over here." And then the boxes open up, and they're like these little like creature or person holding devices that we saw earlier with Noble. Doesn't matter.
They look
Kai
kind of like scorpions, and then
Droidekas also.
They paralyze you and
Yeah, they
it
grab
yeah.
you. They grab you. And then yeah. So Kai double crossed them. Was gonna sell them because Nemesis, high bounty. Turok is a prince, high bounty. Korra, deserter, high bounty. Titus, very good, also high bounty. Gunner, nothing. Gunner's nobody. Woo. And because Gunner's nobody, Kai's like, all right, you gotta put this little it's basically like a cattle gun that goes in the back of their little thing that captures them and it like paralyzes them, like
And
shoots a
then
little
eventually
spike
can
in.
kill them.
Yes. Also, this gun thing is also the key to unlock it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he double crossed them. Noble shows up. Gunner or Kai tries to get Gunner to kill them. He just releases them all basically. Blood Axe dude does one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life, and then he dies. I don't know why he didn't have to jump up there. Is all I'm saying.
Well, no. Here's the series of events. He sees this like little side thing on the King's Gaze, the ship, that's got little guns attached to it. It kind of looks like a male anglerfish, right? So he makes the sensible decision of run off the platform, jump for a really long time, stab into it, and hope he kills the gunner inside. He does,
Gu-
and apparently that
no,
gunner
no,
was
no.
flying the. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
He jumps, he stabs the gunner. Apparently, the gunner was also driving the whole fucking ship because after that, the ship crashes.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was the one who called that out, and you're like,
but wait,
oh,
hold up, hold up. The gunner is actually a cool dude because he goes up there and stabs into it, and the gunner dodges the initial stab.
Mm-hmm.
He dodges the initial stab and then shoots him. Yeah, he was also driving the ship. It's like a little like I'd say it's a little like a dropship kind of looking thing. Anyways,
It's the whole thing, though. It's the entire
no,
Inquisition.
it is not the frigate. It is not
It
the
is
big
the
ship.
entire
It's
frigate.
attached to the frigate.
They flat out said, "Wow, we took down the frigate, you guys. That's a big loss for them." That was in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
that's the noble's like gigantic
Entire-
frigate.
yes, the King's Hand.
Once that part of the ship is shot, once that gunner is gone, that's when the ship crashes down
No,
onto
but the
planet.
ship. No, that wasn't. No, hold up. The frigate that the noble has that has a
King's
name
Gaze.
is enormous.
Yes!
This thing was nowhere near that big.
It was
the King's
attached
Hand.
to the ship.
They flat out mentioned at the end, "Wow, I can't believe we took down the King's Hand," which
You're
is the
kidding
frigate.
me.
I'm
You're
not.
kidding me.
No,
We watched it 2 nights ago.
Oh Lord, I thought it was a drop ship this whole
No,
time. I didn't know it was
no.
the whatever gaze bullshit.
No, this movie's fucking stupid.
Oh my Lord. So they take it down, and then Korra and Noble have at it, fist fight. Korra kind of kills the Noble, but not really. What does she do with him? Does she kick him off the thing?
She kicks him off the thing.
She beats him with his femur stick.
Which is also secretly a lightsaber.
Yeah, but
In one scene only.
Only in the one scene.
And then when he's
it's
fighting
a one-use magic item.
because as soon as he goes to fight her, he's only using the femur. It's like they ran out of VFX money, or they were like, "Wait, we can't do a lightsaber." Don't know, but we forgot
They
to
break
cut
the
that
staff,
scene
and he
out.
stabs her. She stabs him with it, and then
Twice.
kicks him off the buoy. Woo, victory!
Yeah.
And then they fly back to their little Viking planet because that was the whole point, to get forces there to defend them once the King's Gaze get. But I guess the King's Gaze is done for. We see a robot with antler horns.
Oh, and don't forget
And then
that the king can
we
summon
cut
the
to
region.
Noble. We cut to the Noble, who goes literally to a back to tank, gets healed and shocked several times, and then he goes talks to Belisarius Call
through an astral plane.
Through like it's like a brain
The
dance.
Force.
Through the astral plane, they're psychers. I don't know, and I don't remember what Belisarius said. I don't know what Belisarius said to him, but like, get my daughter back or something. I don't know, something like that. Movie ends. It's horrible.
Yeah. I am ready to rage.
Episode Czar is I.
It's up to you.
Episode Czar says, I have talked enough. Here's the order that's going to be. Hector. Ruthie. Then Hector again. Then me twice. Then Ruthie 4 times. And then it ends.
Perfect.
I love
Hector,
that.
Ruthie, me. That's the...
Okay. Things I discovered when looking up info about the movie. Everyone knows about the Snyder Cut that's going to be coming out sometime soon. He says it gets real weird in the extended edition. It's an hour long. I don't know how much you can fucking cram in an hour.
It's
Probably
also
more Probably. God damn it! You beat me at
Isn't it 2 hours?
No, it's 1 hour added.
Yeah, 1 additional hour, and it's already.
You're
a 2 hour
adding
movie.
an hour. Okay.
Yes.
So 3 hours.
There's a lot of sex.
go.
So remember she did have sex? Because there's also a book that's out, and it's based off of the extended edition.
Well,
Wait,
the
what are
extended
you talking
edition
about?
is
Sorry,
based on the book.
I
So Rebel Moon is
Rebel Moon
there's
is
a
a
novel
book.
of yes, there's a Rebel Moon book that came out recently, and it's actually based off of it's basically some guy transcribing the extended edition.
Wait, did the book come first or did the movie come first?
Well, it's the same thing. It's around the same time. But the extended edition is not out yet, but you can read it already in book form.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're gonna release the Snyder Cut on Netflix later.
Yes, which is
100%.
I have thoughts on that. So
Maybe
Which
feelings.
is rated R also.
yes,
Apparently.
so there's a lot more sex scenes. So like,
Nice.
here's some other
Titties?
stuff. Huh?
What?
Titties? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Robot titties. Jimmy, come on, go break up the plate. So, it seems that the soldier who was good and protected Jimmy the robot and what's her name, Rose? Sam had more backstory. Like, according to what I read from a Screen Rant article, he's nobility, and there's plans for him to be in the sequel.
He's in the book, in the extended version, he's actually Noble's son.
He's not
The
Noble's
kid?
son.
He's Atticus Noble's son. You and I keep arguing about this. In the Reddit thread you sent me, it said he's Atticus Noble's son. He had the same situation as Korra, where Noble picked him up off a genocided planet and raised him as his own.
The kid soldier?
Yeah. The one who's got a crush on Sam. The one who helped Korra.
Yeah.
That's
I
such a good
I totally
backstory.
I
Why wasn't
totally
he in the group?
Yeah, literally when I was watching it with my friends, with other friends, we literally all said, "All right, Korra and Gunner out. Kid Soldier's gonna go and follow them." Doesn't happen.
So he has plans to make 3 more sequels, and I am not fucking sure
Two.
if part 2
It's a
is one of
trilogy.
them.
It's a trilogy.
Okay.
Confirmed
It's a
trilogy.
trilogy? Well, let me get this
Confirmed
straight.
trilogy.
So it's a trilogy, some comics, a podcast, and I remember when they announced the first trailer was shown in a Jeff Keighley game event during the Summer of Games event, he said he plans to also make it a video game. So, knock it off, Zach. Knock it off.
Who knows? It could become a franchise if, you know.
He's trying.
He's force feeding it to become a franchise.
His Snyder Cut
Yeah, but
Cut
that's like
fans are
that's
gonna.
like every that's like
shit.
what every studio is doing now. Is like trying to make a franchise.
Yeah.
But whatever. They like trying is the thing
Yeah,
also.
they're forcing it.
New AP. I'm all for it, but like
Not
do better.
Snyder. My honest thoughts: the Wachowskis could do this better than Snyder could.
The Matrix.
Women, yes.
Yeah.
Give them the keys to Rebel Moon; they will make it so much better.
I mean, they did pretty good with Jupiter Ascending.
Exactly. That was my base. Thank you. That was my basis for it.
I
I know.
Eddie Redmayne having it up is the best.
I know.
Zero gravity makeout orgy. Let's go.
Better than the fucking hentai scene we got in this
Oh, yeah,
film.
that was nasty.
Yeah. Apparently, I also read that in the extended version, that is a lot more graphic.
It's also Noble is a bottom according to
the squid
thing.
alien thing is on top of him.
Anywho,
okay,
I can't wait for this Snyder cut.
This is my my first like, and I feel weird saying it now after what we just talked about. The alien designs are cool, especially the alien who could possess others.
in the bar scene.
Yeah, I was hoping that it was so much detail. I'm like, that's gonna be there longer, right? No, that's a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, why can't he just like control Kai and then like him and Kai have a symbiotic relationship? Would have been cool.
It would have been good if like Kai had been like injured in the fight and the alien was keeping him alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Rose, you said?
Sam.
I don't know why I keep thinking Rose because she had flowers.
Yeah.
Storyline was so good. I told Ruth, like, I love this shit. Like the trope of like a cold metal person feeling love and warmth for the first time or again. I know I 1000% know it's because of the Iron Giant, but just inject that shit into my veins, dude. It is such a good trope.
I bet he imprinted the visions that they had of Issa into Sam.
Yeah.
The little bits of Western we got in the saloon was kind of cool, and the set was kind of cool. Like, this whole set was cool. That whole bit was cool. I wish we got more of that.
Design was good, yes.
Yeah. Dislikes. There's, Jesus Christ, this is a lot.
I feel you.
Why is there sexual assault in what's supposed to be a fucking Star Wars film? Not once, but twice. Like, I'll give Snyder this. Equal opportunity. Got both, you know? But, like, at the same time, like, you know what's missing with our not Luke, Leia, and Han? Just nasty stuff. Just, God.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd rather have the incest actually be a thing in this one.
Don't tempt him.
Okay.
Don't tempt fate.
Dude, yeah. You know, in my Star Wars ripoffs, there's 2 sexual assault scenes, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
All right. My other dislikes. The powers make no sense to me. I get miracles like the daughter, but there's an astral plane? How does this dude who had no mention of having powers previously have access to astral plane? Do you just get powers to become the king of the empire? Explain. No? Fuck you. Like,
also, Tarak can just speak to animals, and he's like a human.
Okay, no, so that was actually explained in the book. to Rock and the
But
animal
not in the
are from
movie,
the
so it's
same.
still a fault in the
No,
movie.
it's hinted in the. You can see his necklace barely, but it's the same animal. They're both from the same planet. It's fucking stupid that
Ass.
they cut that out.
It would be. There's better ways to communicate.
Exactly. No, you see that this movie doesn't even. It's all tell, don't show, and what little you tell or show isn't enough.
That. Yeah.
Oh yeah, did we? I forgot to mention the movie starts off with an exposition dump.
Yeah.
No, it starts off with a portal opening that looked like a vagina, and then the ship
Yes,
goes
and then
through.
the vagina ship goes. The ship goes through the vagina.
The king's gaze goes through the vagina.
Yes.
It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, the
Should've
tech
called it
makes
the
no
King's
sense to
Rod.
me. The tech makes no sense to me also in the second note, right? Like ships and robots, sure, but a magical back to tank that can bring you back from extreme death and also send you to an astral plane. Also, like, I guess some people can plug into machines. Why isn't that more of a thing? If you can plug into machines, just lean into that. Why does Noble have a laser sword for one scene and then use the scabbard femur thing for the rest of the film? Is he stupid?
I literally don't
What?
remember it being a lightsaber at any point.
He
in the
brings it
movie.
out to kill Sendry's wife.
Astrid.
Astrid's wife. Is her name really Astrid?
Yeah.
Like Hiccup and Astrid?
Yeah.
I know it's me being silly in that one, but anyway, yeah. Why
I don't
do we
remember
get
that
the
at
main
all.
character's backstory through exposition?
Yes.
Like, Nemesis was fine because with her intro scene, it already incepts the idea of like what happened in your head of like what's her past.
Yeah.
What do you mean the guy writing "not toothless" is a prince? Just what? This isn't in the actual book, in the actual movie. It's in the fucking book. Speaking of the fucking prince, fucking slow-mo and running catch toothless, and then when you jump, you go to super slow-mo. Snyder, stop.
Yeah, this isn't the early 2000s anymore.
No, I don't think he even did it like that. I haven't seen 300, but I don't think he did. I never heard about double slow-mo.
There's a double slow-mo. There's a bunch of double slow-mo in 300.
Seriously, if you cut out the slow-mo, I like Snyder slow-mo when he does it well, but at the same time, like, you can cut a good 30 minutes of this film's runtime just by making it normal speed.
30?
Mhm.
I think 30 is pretty...
30 was the safe guess.
Yeah.
I was going to say 45.
So the
No,
only fights
it's
the
probably
band,
around
the heroic band gets to between the saloon and the final fight is the Spider Lady. But not everyone fights in that. We don't get a little bit of teamwork. All the people that fight are Gunner and Nemesis against the Spider Lady.
And Gunner doesn't even fight. He saves the kid.
Again, that's fine, but that's only two. What? Why did you include a Colosseum if you aren't planning to use it? There's world building that's just fun, and then there's world building that you spend a lot of money and time and energy to for fucking no reason. It makes no goddamn sense.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this movie. Maybe it's because I like Zack Snyder at times. I've heard he's a very good person to work with. He's a good dude. I get that, but at the same fucking time, like, just
He did Dawn of the
I had
Dead.
such high hopes for this film. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
God, huh?
It did. This guy did
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 one or whatever.
Fun fact: that was written by James Gunn.
Oh fuck!
He was one of the writers, I think. I heard. I haven't verified it, but I heard from someone James Gunn was one of the writers.
Well,
Never.
I don't know. I liked 300. 300's a lot of fun to watch. It's not like the actual story
this-
from Herodotus. That's
but
only like
you-
a paragraph long. But it's a vibe. It's a lot of fun to watch.
and
Snyder
like,
does
the
best
whole-
when he's
the whole s-
adapting
The
stuff
whole
well.
story is just like, it's set in the first 15 minutes, and then you just have like
Mhm.
the 300 wall.
Yeah, because I think that's how the
So
comic
it
went.
was
It was based
300
off of one.
Spartans and about 1,000 other soldiers.
Yeah, it's based off a comic. Again, if he
The-
bases
yeah,
it
and
off a specific comic, he does better. Like Watchmen, he copies that
Wasn't
one nearly
Sucker
frame for
Punch-
frame.
Was Sucker Punch original or was
Fully
that based-
original.
Oh, okay.
But
I like
I
Sucker
like
Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Punch
Not
is
a lot of people do.
Good, it's so good. But wait, he did Watchmen also. That's right.
He also adapted
You-
that one nearly frame for frame.
Oh, wow.
You think I would I would something my master stroke with how does he say
I already
it?
released it 15 minutes ago. Yes.
You think I would reveal my master stroke with without making sure there was no way you could possibly stop it? It already happened 34 minutes ago.
It's Alan Moore, though. Alan Moore's a
I
good
know, the
writer.
comics, but honestly,
Alan Moore also did 300, didn't he?
Nope,
Oh.
that's a different writer.
I think the movie
he did Vendetta.
does it very well. Does Watchmen very well. It removes a lot of the silliness, which I like.
I like the silliness.
Who
Anyway.
the fuck is Steve Jobs?
Fucking me. All right.
What?
Sorry.
There's a meme about like, do you hear Steve Jobs died of ligma? Who's Steve Jobs? And then the fucking dude blasts him away. It's a legendary meme. Anyway, my last dislike. Why is the only gay person?
There's 2 gay people.
Wait,
Well, there's like 2 queer-coded people. It's the dog guy in the bar that tries to rape Gunner, and then there's Noble, who's the bottom in the relationship with the tentacle monster.
Oh, there's also like the other chill people at the bar who are queer-coded, and that's fine.
Yeah, but they're background characters.
They're background characters, but yeah, like it.
Does the parasite count as a queer code?
Well, it's the fact that Noble is like a bottom or being pegged. It's kind of like a.
It's
And also, he's a villain.
because the parasite is attached to a male person. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I got it.
I thought you were talking about the tentacle monster.
No, the parasite in the bar. Does that count as
No.
queer code?
If it does, then Spider-Man's very homoerotic in the symbiote arcs.
I mean, I've heard about the Venom movies.
Black skin tight suit, kind of gimpy.
Man, Spider-Man 2, they were really right when they made that joke when the collector's edition involved 19 inches of Venom. For those who don't get it, there's a collector's edition of a statue of Venom, and they literally called it 19 inches of Venom, and
The jokes write themselves, lovely audience.
oh, people have had fun with that one for a while. Anyway, I have 2 big fixes. So I have 2 fixes. I'm fixing the story as is, and then I'm going to do like a complete rewrite bit. All right? So I'm going to start with my main fixes. Like just general fixes for both sides, for any bit, right? So give Cora a 1-shot hand cannon. The big fuck off pistol is a hand cannon. 1 shot, it takes time to reload. She also uses the sword because she had a sword in the thing, and she in her past, and she never brought it with her. Some people get cybernetics to plug their brains into ships and turrets. That way, it makes sense when the ship goes down because the guy's brain overloaded the fucking machinery when he died, and it just fucked up.
Yes.
Give Farmer Boy, what's his name?
Gunner.
Give Gunner the six shooter cowboy look. You know, the pistol, the hat, and the boots. Honestly, that fits more than a fucking suit and tie like fucking Noble wears. He's the only person in the entire movie who wears a suit and tie.
Like a 50s era, well, like a 50s, 40s era suit and tie, along with the Nazi gear.
Yeah, but again, suit and tie just does not in the space that someone was. I read this on Reddit, and I wish I remembered who, but someone was saying the reason Star Wars worked is because it was based off a certain time and a certain art style. Everything was.
Oh, good. Okay, so my aesthetic's going to make a lot more sense.
So, but this movie's borrowing from way too much, and it's not being careful about. From what I saw, it's not being careful about doing. That's all I heard. So my theory is not synergizing. They're not little elements that lead into each other. It's like going from MCR, from Black Parade to Dog Days of Summer, because there's supposed to be an interim album that was supposed to get people used to the new noise, and they scrapped it. So this is the equivalent of that. There is no anything to synergize the looks or the different locations. And okay, here's my real fixes for the actual movie. You can cut between only one blood axe in this movie. We don't have 2. The sister thing was kind of.
I think she's gonna come back in the second
I know
movie.
she is, but it just felt kind of useless to me. So cut between only one blood axe. There's too many characters. One blood axe. You want to choose the long lost sister? Say the first sequel. And Cora. Give us a reason to believe in his cause and his rebellion, because then at that point it's just like, our cause, our rebellion, we're good people. We saved so many people. We don't fucking see any of it. I don't care. He dies. I don't care. There's nothing to care about. We are just told to care. I don't like that. Make me care, Snyder.
How long was Blood Exorcism before he died? About
Like
15,
two
10
scenes.
minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, care about that guy.
Change Charlie. Ruth and I were talking about what we changed a little bit because we noticed we're getting close. So I want Charlie's character Kai to be a fancy nobleman who left his boring as shit life behind to go see this galaxy or universe. I don't know which one it is, right? And maybe he made a friend. He has the little dude.
Is he going to be a dandy like our Flagmane's death?
Maybe?
Is that kind of the vibe you're going for?
Maybe. I know you were doing more of that, but yeah, I think he should. He's just like, has a little squid dude next to him who can communicate with others, can kind of like help make like you can't go through. Okay, hey bud, and then like the guy's like the little symbiote thing just latches on the other dude, makes the dude open, and then lets him go. It'd be I don't know. It'd be funny. The beast tamer isn't removed from a stupid bet. So he secretly trained a few animals in the barn place that he works at to help him escape, and they just kill him. They kill the boss. It's like little critters that can stay with him for the rest of the movie while they go to other planets. And most of the biggest is like a wolf thing. I don't know if you really want to. But yeah. Instead of Nemesis. So here's my issue with Nemesis. I have to go into detail about this. There is a big trope about that made sense with samurai movies, but doesn't make sense with anything else, where Americans are like, oh, there's an Asian character. They care about their honor. And like, look, I love Zuko as much as everyone. Even they stopped touching on that stuff in the sequel show Korra, okay? Like, cause they realized Shang-Chi, what's his name? The main dude.
Oh, Simu Liu.
Simu Liu. He said it was a big deal that they don't make honor a big thing in this movie. It's not mentioned once in Shang-Chi. Because it's a tired, overused trope that it's a stereotype. It's annoying. What do they do with her? She talks about honor, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I didn't do it. By the time I realized what I was doing, it was too late.
Well, say what you were originally meaning, and then tell us the final.
My original thing was: you ever seen a John Woo like gunplay film where they're like going through stuff, like you're going under, like they're jumping around with like guns akimbo and like going under desks and shooting guns. It's badass. I haven't seen a John Woo movie. I've seen a few scenes, right? So what about she's a cyborg, right? So like just give her thrusters on her robot arms and robot legs, and she's just like super fast, like Warframe, just going down, shooting really fast, and like doing little flips and stuff. If maybe like just Warframe's an example. Space ninjas, but not space ninja, but with guns, because it's because everyone's using guns. And if you really want, have like a little secret, like from her wrist is like the red blade at the very end is a killer move. She keeps it as a top secret move, just in case. But yeah, it'd be cool. Also, Snyder, remember Batman vs Superman, the really cool Batman scene where he kills all those people to rescue Martha Kent? He can do the action scenes. Just get him to try. And you're thinking, Hector, what about Titus? I'm not having Titus. Once again, there's too many people. They don't get to Titus in this movie, or they don't get to Titus at all, and you just combine Titus and Nemesis. Just combine their characters, where Nemesis is like, yeah, I just kind of became like a Ronin, like a wanderer around the galaxy after losing my squad.
And family.
You're cutting Titus? I'm cutting 2 characters off my fix. But
there's too many characters.
I know, but I cut 2.
Also, do you find it stupid that this big higher up admiral goes to a rinky-dink planet for literal grain?
I figured out how to...
The first loss in a war is your loss of your supply chain.
You can have subordinates go and handle this shit. Or here's the better thing. He's a subordinate, and then he gets a call like, oh, hey, my boss died, and I'm the promoter. You fuckers are in charge of this now. I don't care. I'm going to go do some real big shit. Right? Just leaves the idiots to figure it out on their own. So here's the big fix. Here's the big fix for the complete rewrite.
All right.
Start the movie with Korra. It's her growing up, being forced to join the Imperial Navy. She has a romance with a cadet. She has to deal with losing her family and planet, and now being an extremely elite school with an extremely elite father. So her lover is like, no, I want to take over your dad's spot, even if it means death, right? And like, I'm going to find more about your dad. I'm going to study him, dig deep, and excel.
Is he doing it because he cares about her or because he's ambitious AF?
It's ambitious AF. So she starts to resent her dad for killing her family and because of her love, her lover. But at the same time, it's like, but also like he saved me and I've been brainwashed. This is in the first like half of the movie, right? And then finally the lover is getting more disheveled in his vision and he finds something out about the Admiral General being a madman. But because he's so crazy, no one believes him. He gets kicked out. Years later, he's leading a rebellion on a moon that the Empire really needs. It's a rebel moon. And then you can even have Korra say, what are we, some kind of rebel moon?
No,
So
I have a line also.
So it all boils down to, again, the lover of rebellion. By this point, the princess is with Issa is brought along with the king to start during this war. This is a many years war. And like, she heals the soldier. The king makes the princess Issa heal soldiers as a miracle. We start to get really close to the family. We start to kind of see them. Like, we almost get brainwashed ourselves. We see them in their daily lives. It becomes more of a political kind of thing. Finally, it's the final battle. They have the lover pinned. Korra fights him, and she kills him really elegantly. Maybe she, like Ed did in the recent D&D campaign, recent D&D session. He kills the evil love interest and then kisses him as he dies.
Well, Korra does it.
Yeah. And then during the celebration, the father betrays everyone. She has to run away. That's the end of the movie. And that sets us up for Rebel Moon Part 2. You've set up the rules. You've set up a lot of the enemies. You've set up a lot of, like,
The
motivation.
world. Yeah.
And now you can just go steamroll the plot.
Nice.
That's it.
All right.
Yes. Ruthie.
All right.
It's your turn. Are you excited?
I'm actually really excited for my fixes. The movie was ass.
Yeah, I'm excited for my fixes for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like us taking a little bit of a break helped my mojo. I actually took good notes again. It's been a hot minute. All right. My like. I always like someone taking a stab at original sci-fi. I have to say that. I do like when original movies happen. Adaptations are great. I'm not gonna, like, shit on them, because they do bring about good movies. However, Yuri on Ice is an original, and that one was pretty good. Just saying. Princess Tutu. Come on. All right. The CGI was pretty decent. I mean, like, it didn't get, like, some of the other Netflix treatments where it was kind of felt cheap. There was, somebody cared about the CGI team. I can tell. They got naps. They got breaks.
Yeah, do you know what they got? Probably time.
Yeah.
That's usually all that they need.
Yeah. I liked most of the world building, what little world building we got. It was very fun. But we didn't get all sort of the explanations that I wanted. But the explanations we did get, I was fine with. Jimmy, cool. Sam, I like her. Soldier, good feelings about him. Barely saw him. Oh, sorry, I'm not in my dislikes yet. The main three, Korra, Gunner, Kai, them being like the main three in Star Wars, but just a little bit different. That was interesting to me. And Han Solo being a traitor, that was also like an interesting concept. Now to my dislikes. Korra is a nothing burger character. Like, she's not even cardboard. She has two emotions. It's either emotionless or sad.
She's happy when the bird flies over.
Does she pass the lampshade test?
She passes the lampshade test?
Barely.
But I feel like if you subbed her out for a dude,
same thing.
It would be the same thing. She's just not a character.
Isn't that good sometimes?
No, I'm saying she would be just as flat as if an '80s Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing her.
Oh, I see what you mean. It was just that there wasn't enough meat
There's
in the
not
bones.
enough meat there.
Oh, okay.
This is gonna be a really shitty stew, you know? Gunner is an idiot. In fact, everyone in this movie is either an idiot or an asshole. Like, it's both malice and idiot. Like, what's the thing? Like, don't attribute to malice what can be easily
Attributed to stupidity.
Yeah, both of those are true at the same time. It's 50-50 on if the person's an asshole or an idiot. Den and Gunner, the two people that Cora is supposed to have a love triangle with, they look the exact same. The only difference between these two men, yes, this bothers me a lot the more that I think about it. It's not that one's blonde and one's a brunette. Nay, nay. One is vaguely clean shaven and one has a beard. That's it. There's also Kai. He's also, like, in the love triangle, I guess? Not really?
No,
What?
there's no love looking stuff there.
Kai
Kai
was
kind of
definitely
rizzes her a little bit.
He flirts at Cora.
Yeah. Wait. You said it's Cora,
Gunner,
Gunner,
and then in the
and-
village, it's Den. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should sleep with Den for the fertility thing," and then the girl's
yes,
like,
that's
"Haha,
right.
you slept with Den," and Cora's like, "I did not."
Supposedly she did, according to the book.
Yeah, which, like,
Or the book /
who gives
Snyder
a
cut.
fuck? It seems like this is a pretty sex-positive society. Why lie? I don't get it. I don't know. But I'm not gonna base it off the extended edition. I'm not gonna base it on the book that basically is the extended edition. This is what I saw was what I get.
I know.
That's how I go. There's a lot of world building that was left on the table, and it feels like at the expense of getting all these quote-unquote really cool slow-mo shots. Like, I made the joke that, like, 45 minutes of this movie was dedicated to the slow-mo. Even if I am over-exaggerating, I don't think I am. It seemed like a lot more emphasis was on the slow-mo than, like, some of the actual more interesting parts of the movie to me.
You shouldn't have mentioned the slow-mo after the sex bits, because I'm starting to wonder.
No,
you think the Snyder Cut's gonna have
don't
slow-mo
speak it into
sex
existence.
Scenes?
You know, 300 had a slow-mo sex scene, right?
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Okay. Damn.
None of the main heroes really felt like characters. Honestly, nobody felt like characters. Even Cora, especially Cora. We get each of these main big five plus Kai, they'll get one cool scene, and that's it. And in the final fight, some of them don't even get to use their special abilities, like Tarak. And let's not forget the racist stereotypes of the it wasn't noble savage, but like the native who's in tune with nature and animals, and the Asian samurai obsessed with honor and probably revenge.
Bro, I just love that you said the main five plus Kai, because that's how it feels. Kai isn't a character. But
No one's a character.
Counterpoint though, I felt Noble was pretty charactered.
He felt the most charactered, but that's because out of the bad guys, he's like the bad guy. Cora, like, he's supposed to be a foil for Cora, but Cora doesn't nearly get as much, like, emphasis, you know?
Yeah, just like, I don't know. That's just what I thought was Noble was the
No, that's a fair point
of all of them character wise.
Yeah. Anachronisms have a time and a place. Yes, I meant the pun. But the suit does not fit any of the vibes that are previously presented, including the Nazi rhetoric with the rest of their uniform. No one else wears the suit, even in the same scene that Noble is on the ship. No one else is wearing a suit. It doesn't make sense. And also, the final fight kind of sucked. They just got the blood axes, and then the blood axes all immediately get murked. We don't get to see their capabilities. It basically, like, renders that little victory that they had moot.
One
And also
survives.
one survives. She's going to be in the next one. It's really obvious, but like I don't feel the weight of their sacrifice. It means nothing. And Tarak doesn't, whatever the fuck his name is, I can't remember. The Beast Tamer guy didn't have a beast in the final fight. So what was his point? He was, from what I remember, he was barely doing anything. I don't know. So here's how we fix it. And again, disclaimer, I don't care. There's a book. Fuck it. There's no book. Me. Here's what I say.
She's a book.
I am a book. Audience, you can't see the video. You'll never know. Okay, before I really get into it, I'm just going to establish this now. I'm going to try and keep everything in a steampunk space cowboy aesthetic. I will try to not have too many anachronisms, but if they happen, they happen.
Wait, does that include the evil space Nazis? Are they steampunk too?
There was fascism in the 1830s through the 1860s.
No, I know, but are they going to change their costumes to be more steampunky?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep the only costume I would change is I would not have the suit, but I did like the kind of like Nazi aesthetic. So that is it.
Steampunk Nazis.
Context, everyone.
For the villains, I liked the Nazi aesthetic, but make it more steampunk.
Whoever's editing this.
Yeah.
It's you, Ed.
Damn it.
Ed.
I don't have a computer right now.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, let's answer this big plot hole that Hector mentioned. Why would the commander of that big-ass ship stop by some itty-bitty farm village and demand food? Here's why. We'll keep the narration as it is, but instead of some generic space stuff, we're going to see the king's gaze leaving Motherworld through the vagina portal and traveling through space as the monologue is going. As the monologue is finishing, the king's gaze is attacked by Blood Axe's rebel armies, a la A New Hope. Now, while the ship isn't outright destroyed, because that ruins the purpose of the movie, what they did hit was their main supply cache of food. They're out, like they've got like 3 months supply. However, there were a lot of casualties, and the Blood Axes did have to retreat onto the planet Velt. Now we cut to Cora, who is plowing the land. The last few rows of the farming village. She's gonna not sensually stroke the dirt like she did in the original version. There's not gonna be slow-mo. In fact, we're gonna get rid of half the slow-mo, and we're gonna shorten half the slow-mo that's there so we can actually have more runtime. We'll get some cool weapon brandishing moments, and then right before a cool thing happens, we'll slow-mo that. I won't get rid of all of it. But Cora sees this dogfight up in space, and she kind of just shakes her head. She knows it's a fool's errand to stand against Motherworld. She sees the rebels retreat onto Velt. After Sindri gets murked, because now they have an excuse to come to the village, Noble leaves. The villagers just immediately kick out Gunnar. They don't care that he's the harvest master or not. He's the one who got them into this mess. They're fucking pissed. And I don't blame them. I was furious. Cora gives him some kind of walkie-talkie smoke signal, radio, whatever. Hand wavy. In case and either one of them comes into trouble, she says that they both know what she means is, when you're about to get your ass handed to you, you can use this. A month goes by, and the soldier guys, we're not going to have them evil and rapey at the first bit. It's going to be like putting a frog in a pot of boiling water. You don't put the frog in as the water's boiling because the frog's going to jump out. You put the frog in warm water, then you turn it up to boiling slow enough so the frog doesn't realize until it's too late.
Oh, like actual fascism.
Yes. And maybe Cora does leave town. She's not exactly running away, but she's keeping an eye on them from a distance and also trying to make sure that the soldiers don't recognize her for being a traitor, for being the one who orchestrated Issa's death. Oh, another thing, we're gonna get rid of all the magic bullshit except for Issa.
Issa's the rare marigold.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the incident with Sam happens. I'll keep it the same because it was. Well, I'll keep it relatively the same. Instead of like sad Korra, it's this fiery rage that kind of just turns on, and then as soon as it's there, she takes a breath and it just goes into a quiet rage. You see, I'm not going to make Nemesis the samurai. I'm going to be nerdy on Maine. Hold on, put a pin in this. Steampunk stems from the Victorian era, starting in the year 1837. You know what else was happening around the world in 1837? In 67 years, from the 1830s to the 1870s, cowboys lived and died. An uprising in Japan removed the shogun from power, reestablishing the emperor, which means samurais no longer had lords to follow.
Samurais also were in Mexico. So
Yeah.
there's a lot cross country.
That's I got it from the Tumblr post, if you know what I'm talking about. But it was the end of piracy in the Caribbean, so French pirates. And also, while the popularity of Spaniard-style destreza, or fencing, was less of a thing, it hadn't fully died out at this point, so we can also have a Spanish fencer. All of this is to say I am not being anachronistic when I have a pirate, a samurai, a cowboy, a fencer, and a gentleman all in the same crew. Korra was raised on Mother World's warrior code written for their soldier class and not too quite different from the Bushido code. Nemesis, for those wondering, will be our fencer, though she's also pretty badass and I wanted to give her a sniper rifle too. Well, maybe just a rifle, because sniper rifles hadn't quite been invented yet. Again, trying for the anachronisms here. Tarak will be our gentleman. More on this later. General Titus, after losing his battle, got really pissy and he became a pirate. Fuck you.
Wait, who did? Wait.
Titus. He's a pirate and gladiator. Fuck you. And, of course, Gunner will be our cowboy.
You just have him pillage Mother World ships.
Yeah. There we go. So after this fight, Korra kind of realizes what she needs to do. She's actually the first one. She calls Gunner, and Gunner's like, so we're gonna fight the guys, right? Oh, you already killed them. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. She's going to need someone else with her on the journey. But really, this is a situation of if she leaves without Gunner, Gunner's not going to have anybody within range who's going to be able to save his ass if he's in trouble, because he's kind of like a pacifist. So they go to Providence, and it's the same as before, except maybe Gunner's looking for Kai specifically. He's kind of ingratiated himself with these bounty hunters and these, like, I don't know, he's kind of more he's got shiftier contacts now. Like, he knows where the rebels are, he knows a lot more stuff. Again, cowboy. The main difference in this is that Kai does not immediately agree to help them get off planet. Mother World, after that incident with the Blood Axes, has authorized the King's Gaze and Atticus Noble to put a blockade around Velt and its moon, and there's no way in hell he's risking his life and his ship for these two bozos to go fuck off into space and blow him up.
Oh,
no.
So you got Phantom Menace going.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Fun. Okay.
I like Phantom Menace.
He says he's open to changing his mind if they can prove to him they're not just two bozos going to space. So Gunner has an idea. Like I said, he's kind of got more shifty friends now. He's listened to these bounty hunter types, and he knows that there are a couple prize people on Velt who are enemies of Mother World, and if they can work to free these bounty hunters, maybe they can, or these bounties, maybe Kai will be convinced.
Wait, for like they become bounty hunters and get bounties on them?
No. So the idea is Gunner knows bounty hunters. These bounty hunters tell Gunner about these enemies of Mother World that are scattered about Veld. And if they can get enough, maybe they can convince Kai they're not 2 bozos, they're 4 bozos. And then they could get to Titus and the Blood Axes.
Okay.
There we go. This is how we're going to find Turok and Nemesis. Also, Turok and Nemesis are on Velt and the moon. Turok is on the opposite side of Providence, almost like the entire opposite side. He's still a blacksmith. What we will change is that he's got a bandana and we can't see his throat at first until he pulls it down. He's not a human, he's humanoid. He's got this, like, kind of frog throat sack. And maybe he looks more like Abe Sapien from
Hellboy.
Hellboy, thank you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Who am I to decide? Whatever floats
Thank you
your
for
goat.
putting more aliens.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, why is he blacksmithing if he's going to be like a dandy frog man? Well, here. It's because his frog-like nature, he gets dehydrated really easily in hot environments, and he's right next to a hot-ass forge all day.
That's cruel.
Yeah!
That's Jesus Christ.
Yeah! He can't stay hydrated enough to escape, and in the first place, and then this side of the moon is more deserty, so he's fucked. Now, his throat sack isn't just to make him more alien. You see, when he starts to use his sack to sing, frog, he can use that song to communicate.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill it. You just the phrase.
That was
when he does his song.
pretty funny. Because frog.
Cold. This boy's hole. When he uses his sax song, he can communicate with any creature, sentient or not. So Gunnar knows that that this guy who's like slaving Turok is a gambler, and because he's been here before, he decides to say like, "Oh, why don't we gamble on if Turok can do it?" I couldn't think of anything better. Frog Turok wins. Instead of putting on the poncho, he dusts off his cravat. He grabs his jacket. He starts dressing up like this dandy. And I'd keep it the same actor because it's funny.
Just make him in a frog costume.
Yeah, just give him a little froggier prosthetics.
I imagine like literally Abe Sapien, but with a bit more frog.
Yeah. But it's still
like the same eyes.
Yeah.
Like just keep it alien. Just keep.
But I would keep the same actor because I do want him to get work. He seemed like a nice guy. He tells the pair he would be happy to help them kick Motherworld's ass, and he'd also love to pay them for their troubles. But Motherworld did take away his family and his fortune. He's still a prince. Now, Nemesis is on Velt proper. You could also put her on like one of the little asteroids because it is like a ring planet, and then you could put Titus on Velt. I don't know. Again, I'm just throwing ideas out into the ether. Gunnar gets them passage on a planet-bound ferry, and off they go. I won't change too much about her intro. It's sick AF. It gives enough of her context.
Same abilities?
Instead of them being full-on swords, she's got a laser rapier, because again, she's like a fencer, and then she's got a bunch of little knives. She fights dirty. So dirty. No honor.
Give her like a laser whip.
No, because she's a Spanish fencer.
They used whips.
I'm going for knives and guns.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll give her a rifle, so she's got something long distance. Also, I wanted like the Russian World War I sniper vibes, but also a fencer.
Does she look the same?
Yes,
like,
I would not change her costume.
Okay.
She was really pretty. Now, while they're on Velt, I'm not going to have the Blood Axes be off-ship, or off-world, obviously. They landed here. They're still here. There's a blockade. They make an agreement with the Blood Axes to protect the village. I do it a little bit differently. I don't know how the actual conversation would go. I don't know, maybe Darian could come with, maybe not. It was inconsequential to the original version. I don't know how to include him here. I don't know what to do. They return to Providence to show off to the crew to Kai. We see Kai's eyes as like their $sign for a minute there. And he happily agrees to help them get to the pirate formerly known as General Titus. And we do the same pickup as for Titus as the movie. It's fine. That was fine.
So you're going to have a Coliseum there and no fighting.
Maybe he lost all his money. We expect him to be a gladiator, but he lost all the money from his recent spoils on gambling.
Okay, I can dig that.
Um, make the final fight better. Give the heroes more shit to do. Turok with his throat sack. Give him powers kind of like the voice, but a little bit weaker. Where for a moment he can basically cast command on the enemies and make them do things.
I had a different idea for that voice.
Silence.
Because I forgot about that. I'm like, oh, well, like he can mimic other people, so if he's sneaky and behind, he can just make them
I mean
think.
that too. Yeah, just give him throat sack abilities. His throat sack is brimming to burst with these abilities.
God damn it, no. I'm trying not to lose it, please.
Nemesis stabbing people in the ankles with her laser knives and then getting a good vantage point to pull out her laser rifle and shoot somebody in the face point blank. You know. Korra's got a pistol in one hand and a blade in the other. Titus...
Okay, you took that. Yeah, it's a good aesthetic.
Yeah. Titus is an amazing tactician, practically dancing around the battlefield, and Gunner is helping wherever he can. I don't know. More scenes in the village, especially with the soldier and Sam. It's very obvious that they're crushing on each other. Also, I want more Jimmy. There we go. Movie fixed.
All right.
I like your version too.
Nice. Okay. So, my turn. Space Cowboys.
As soon as I saw enough of the movie, I'm like, Ed's gonna do Space Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
I know it.
All right. To save some time, Turok doesn't exist.
No likes or dislikes?
I'm getting. Oh, that's right. I'll get.
Did
I
we
just
say
went
all
straight
your
into
likes
my
and dislikes?
fixes. Anyways, likes and dislikes. So, Noble, kind of, a little bit, not great.
He's fun to hate.
Yeah, and
I couldn't even feel anything other than
I
apathy.
also like, yeah, the production design's good. The places they went to is cool and all that. Like, there wasn't a lot that I liked. It was just like in general, just like kind of like there weren't specifics really. It was just like, this vibe's cool. This is fine. I really like Nemesis and the spider scene.
Mm-hmm.
For what it based, what that foundation that it started. That's what I liked. How it happened was wasted. Yeah, I also like the most of the uh, vibe that people like what they wear and such. Right. Okay. So dislikes the whole movie for the
All
most
right,
part.
understandable.
And honestly, like I think it for me it just feels better if I just do the fixes.
Okay.
Like I don't know, like I can't really, I don't want to nitpick
Do
this
what you want to do, dude.
No,
yeah.
you really
So
don't do it.
I'm
It's
just
fine.
gonna jump straight into my fixes. So Turok doesn't exist, at least not in this one. I'm also thinking that this. I'm also basing my fixes on. I know this is a trilogy, so there are gonna be some things that will be later. So Turok doesn't exist. Nemesis does, but we'll get to that. And then blood. We'll get to everything else. All right. So, but Turok does not exist in this one. So basically, the movie for me, how I would do it is would start off more or less the same. There's some obvious fixes that I would do with Korra's character, where I would want her to be more bitter about how she was like, kicked out of it. And I want her to have like conflicting feelings of like maybe I should go back to the Imperium kind of stuff, because I feel that would be very, very interesting, very
I get
interesting
that.
character dynamic there. Um, but it starts off the same with Noble coming down and doing his whole thing. Kid eyeballs, googly eyes, girls. That's fine. Robot, super cool. Whatever. Take out the sexual assault scene though. Something else. I don't know. But basically, you do learn that Korra's an adept fighter because of her time in the Imperium, and she kind of beats them up because they're being assholes. And then, basically, same thing. Darian Harris goes with her. They need to get some help for the village, and I also want her to not to actually like have a little bit of like. I've been with this village for 2 years, like, and I've kind of beside my better judgment, I've kind of grown attached to these people. So like, even if like nothing brings of it, I still want to do my best and protect them. Maybe we'll just survive and just live our life here normally. I want her to have that kind of vibe a little bit. Also, I don't know. It's a lot you could do with Cora because there's nothing there.
Yeah, she's a blank canvas.
Yeah, and I kind of liked Gunner for the most part. Well, like his aesthetic at least. I had no problem with it really. Um, so they would get to Mos Eisley. They would meet uh Kai, right? And basically they get on the ship and they start flying to, I don't know. I think the first person to pick up that makes sense would be Titus. I think, because Cora already knows Titus, because he was part of the Imperium also, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it would make sense for Cora for them to go to Titus. But wait, there's a travel time here. In this travel time, you get to learn more about Kai, and Kai rises up Cora, and Kai and Gunner also interact, and you get a lot of Kai in this travel time. A lot of like his motivations and all that. He's still a smuggler. He's like doing this just because I don't even know what his motivation was in the first place. I
He's a
don't know.
bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter. Oh yeah, yes, that's right. He's a bounty hunter. So like we get some weird like vibes from him, but he's still pretty cool and open to help. And he's like, hey, it's something new. But first sign of trouble, I'm dipping. Um, kind of things. So you get that thing from Kai, and I'm like, okay, so, well, at least he's giving them transportation, and maybe when they get Titus and to the Blood Axis too, they'll find their own ship, and he can go on his merry way. Uh, but they gotta meet Titus. I still want the gladiator stuff. I'm sorry, because I think that him going back to the gladiator stuff is just way too funny. And yes, I do want them to get to the gladiator arena. And when they show up, Titus is down fighting, and we get a little bit of his fighting scene. We get a little bit of the gladiator stuff, and once it's over, that's when they go down. Girl cleaning him makes more sense, and then they Cora kind of coerces him to join in very uh, questionable, like imperial loyalist kind of terms, kind of shit.
What do
Like
you mean?
like she coerces him in a way that, since he's also was imperial, like she uses kind of like wordplay and stuff like that to make it seem like, or I don't know, like I just want it to be a little bit of like, oh, is she still like loyal to the imperium, just like using those words that she knows will coerce him just to get him on and then change kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
I
So
want that
she
little
might be
thing to,
tricking him.
yeah, she might kind of tricking him. And then they will go to um from Titus. They'll learn about what the Blood Axe is, that planet that they're supposed to be at. And during this travel time is when you find out more about Titus and more about Cora's backstory. This is where Titus, I guess, will give Kai and Gunner more story on Cora. Well, Cora, because it makes sense. Cora wouldn't share what
Hmm.
happened, and Titus gives the story of like, yeah, she was imperial like me. She was great personal bodyguard. She was raised from a child. She wasn't born into the Imperium, but he doesn't know how she got part of the Imperium, got into the Imperium basically. But she was very high up, very good stuff. Personal bodyguard to the daughter who died, and he explains that like, yeah, she was basically exiled because she didn't do her job as a bodyguard. And we get Titus, we get more Kai, and more characters interacting with each other. Like I want the travel time to be a major part of the movie, of the crew getting together and getting to know each other, maybe a little bit of scuffles and such, disagreements and whatever. But they are traveling to that planet. They get to that planet, and they meet the Blood Axes, both the guy and the girl. And so this plays out completely differently in the way that they try to tell the Blood Axes, like, come on, we got our people to help on this moon and such. And the Blood Axes girl is like, or guy, both of them are like, what? Like, this is a war. We need an army. We don't need just like a ragtag crew from a rebel moon, from some kind of rebel moon. No,
What are we,
like,
some kind of rebel moon?
yeah, like, no, you guys gotta do, like, we can't spare resources when we are also recovering from fights and such. And like, like, this is war. People, we lose, you lose battles, you win some, people die. Like, I'm sorry. And they're like, well, fuck. What do we do now? The only thing that they can do, well, no, this is what happens. Actually, my bad. Uh, they're like, fuck. What do we do now? And Kai's like, well, I got some stuff that that I still need to sell. So let's go to that trading post and sell the stuff. And travel time more. Make Kai kind of like, make Kai say something like, after spending some time with you guys, I think I've had some change of heart. We could sell these stuff, maybe hire some mercenaries and go back to your town with time to spare and train them to fight back, right? And that happens. And then they go and they land on the thing, and Kai still double crosses them and still gets them into little pincer things. Uh, but hmm, I haven't really thought, like, I don't want it to
Nothing
be the
changes with the
same.
fight, genuinely. It'd be
What?
fine. Nothing really changes with the fight.
Well, I
Yeah.
want them to get out. Well, actually, no. How they get out is fine, I guess, with Gunner, but you'd have to put a little bit of like, oh, maybe Kai, while coercing him to paralyze, like, like the words she used with Titus, like, who knows, she might still be loyal to the Imperium, just tricking us all, kind of stuff. I don't know, something like that. And then they get out, same kind of way. Uh, we'll say since Kai rizzed Korra and then double crossed them, Korra kills Kai. And and there's no blood X here, by the way.
Yeah.
It's literally just now three of them fighting, like, it's a drop ship, not the whole thing.
It'd be
It's a
four.
drop ship. Four?
It makes more sense and
Titus,
Gunner.
realistic.
Korra, Gunner,
Nemesis.
Nemesis is
Oh,
not
Nemesis.
here.
You didn't mention Nemesis yet.
Yeah,
Probably save
I'm
it for the
not gonna
sequel.
mention Nemesis. Nemesis is the thing. Also, throughout all of this, I guess you could include Little Soldier Boy.
Yeah, I
From
did
the,
like Little Soldier Boy.
you could if you wanted to, but it's not required because they could, like, I'll say why later, but like, basically the fight kind of goes down more or less the same. Um, Also, but at this point, it is not revealed that Korra is like the adopted daughter of the uh,
Regent.
Belisarius. Belisarius, yeah. So kind of plays out the same, although um I will say, like, after like the double cross, like, some people from the inside the trading post are like, that's Imperium shit. We need them out of here now, and they get kind of help from the other mercenaries, bounty hunters there. And with that help is that how they bring down the little dropship. Um, and then fight goes off the same with Korra and him, except, better choreographed. And yes,
Is this dropship? Is its name the Queen's Lesbians?
Wait, why the Queen's
sure,
Lesbian?
whatever. I don't care.
Yep.
Sure.
Ship.
The King's Hand.
King's Gaze.
King's
King's
Gaze.
gaze.
Queen's
Oh
Lesbians.
God,
Yeah,
that's good. That's really
yeah.
fucking
Sure,
good.
whatever. Something like that. Something more, subtle, but still.
Through attack.
Yeah. Throat sack. Because frog.
Sorry.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know how it would fix the fight a little bit. Maybe like a little bit of teamwork going on there to kick him
Yeah.
off. And then like, well, and then the I guess they like Cora could have some like inspirational, also borderline Nazi speech about to the other mercenaries there, and maybe they could come in and help and such. And could come on the crew like as just extras or not. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, they get back on the ship and they sell what they can. So they do have some money. Maybe they hire a mercenary, like a new character. Let's add a mercenary in there. Whatever.
Or you could just hire Turok. You just bring him back in.
Oh yeah, they could hire Tarok as a yeah. Maybe he was at the training post for some fucking reason. Yeah, they hire a mercenary who turns out to be Tarok, and then they start like they're like they sell some stuff. They hire him, and then they take off to their rebel moon, right? And they're like, well, we got the best that we could. Like, let's just go there, train them, and see how long we can hold off, kind of thing. And then we'll say that I don't know, Gunner's like scanning the radio. It's like, wait, like there's some chatter from the blood axes on this encoded thing. Like they've heard of like they heard of what we did and they know who we are. That they seem to be wanting to go to our moon. Like the blood axes are gonna show up. Like all of them are gonna show up to the moon. And they get back to the moon and basically they just like, start the prep and shit. And Robot's still a Warforged Rude. And then we cut to Noble in the little back to tank thing, kind of like
Oh, you
reviving
kept
him,
the
kind
back
of
to
stuff.
tank thing in?
What? I
You
mean,
kept
I
the
don't know.
back.
They're like, he's being healed. Oh yeah,
Whatever
and
sci-fi medicine
let's
bullshit. Yeah.
let's remove the astral plane. He's being healed. He's like in some kind of like stretcher or something, like a hospital bed or whatever. And then that's when Belisarius comes in and he's like, well, kind of failed pretty badly on your main objective. And he's like, you better not fail on bringing my daughter back. And that's where we'll end.
That's a lot better, yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't so
Build
much
the
cowboy stuff
characters up
though. You
more.
told me there was gonna be
You
cowboy
don't have to
stuff.
drop everything right there. That's why like that and since it is a trilogy, that's why I'm okay with ending it in kind of a soft cliffhanger of like, they're preparing for the fight. There's no sign of them coming anytime soon. So there's like at least there's a kind of resolution here. They finished their main objective of getting something back to the Rebel Moon to do something. Blood axes are coming, and then guys, Noble is way too injured to even go anywhere right now. And then you have this little bit of a push for the next one. It's like, get my daughter back, and he just says my daughter back, but it's not mentioned who it is.
Yeah.
There's only
But
like one
everyone's
woman in
gonna
the
assume
entire
it's
movie.
Cora.
There's only one
What?
woman in the entire movie.
Sorry,
Well,
what?
you make Belisarius not look like Cora, and then it's a little bit more ambiguous. If you make him blonde, everyone's gonna think, "Oh, is it Sam?"
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing. You can make him like I was thinking maybe it's Sam. Um oh, also another thing. I was going to say that like after in the second movie, uh, after they barely hold off the assault, they hear from Turok that he knows Nemesis. And then I want to spend 20 minutes with the Nemesis shit cuz there's so much shit you can do there with like Nemesis backstory of losing her daughter, the spider losing her children, Spider kidnapping the kid, and just like that whole like so much
I
good
almost got the
character shit
impression.
right there.
I got the impression that the Spider Lady Hermata, that was not the first time she had taken a child. I felt like that
Mm.
was like a long stint, and it was Nemesis and Hermata, like superhero to villain kind of.
I would
That was
I
the
would
climax.
I would
Batman the
definitely
Joker.
make it that it is Hermata's first offense, 100%. Because
Okay.
I want there to be like because Hermata's children died and she's like native to the planet and all these people built around her and then she loses her children because of that and it's just like I there's so much like heartbreak here that you can work with, especially
Hmm.
like with Nemesis, like relating with her that she lost her child too, and just like so much shit there, and like, oh, I'm not a good writer, but a good writer can just grab that and be like, oh, this is good. Let me make some people cry. Because that's what I want. Nemesis's thing, I really, really, really liked, and I was so disappointed that they wasted it.
I would like a movie like without all this bullshit, just Nemesis.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And she still looks like an inquisitor, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's in the second movie.
I'm surprised that I was expecting more cowboy shit, Ed.
Hmm?
I was expecting more cowboy shit from you.
More cowboy shit. There wasn't as much. Well, I want to keep it like, you know, loyal to the original story. I don't want to just like
Fair
completely
enough.
go super cowboy and just like insert my cyberpunk story that I have in my head into this movie.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I like the Kai betraying them though. It just
Yeah,
needed
that
more Kai, and
Mm.
that's why I
yeah.
wanted Kai to be like, oh, change your heart. But no, he still fucking backs them. So you feel something. You're like, fuck you, Kai.
Ooh.
Yes.
I did say get rid of the magic. Instead of astral plane, it's basically Belisarius plugs his brain into Thing, and then they plug
Noble's
Oh,
brain.
just
Noble's brain into the
cyberspace.
That's
same
what
thing.
that's what I thought was what happened. But
Yeah,
then they
me too at first.
but then the subtitles were like astral plane, and I'm like,
What?
fucking what?
Yeah. I was also yeah, I did mention the daughter, but no mention of her magic powers yet. Not that's in the second movie. Because there's so much you can do. Like you have a whole trilogy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can use the first one to build up some characters. If you can introduce a second one, another one in the second, you already have all of these kind of built up. Like give them more time. And Nemesis is such an interesting character, and then you can really develop the plot and all the little twists and turns in the second movie. And then the third is like the conclusion, the climax conclusion kind of shit. It's so easy to structure a trilogy, and they just put too much in the first one, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Way too much. That makes me start for
Hmm.
the second and third because I know Snyder. He's
And
gonna
like
keep building and building and building and building. And
yeah, and if he doesn't keep building and like he develops the characters more in the second, like the pacing will feel a little bit off to me at least.
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's too
Because we
late for
already
him to
have all
fix
this
anything in
shit,
the
and then it just
second.
kind of we have all this like good shit, big shit, and it just kind of will sit in the sideline as the second movie plays, and then it's
Ed,
just not good.
the second one's coming out in April. They already filmed everything.
Yeah, I
So,
know.
are we gonna do this for the second?
There's a
I
lot
guess
of
we have
magic
to.
that happens in the editing room. So
Yeah. Supposedly Ryan Gosling had a lot of lines in Drive. Editing kind of cut it out.
They
because it
cut
made
out
more
a really
sense.
funny joke in Barbie with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I think I know the
Yeah,
joke
I
too.
think I heard about that. But yeah,
When Barbie punches the cop, he screams.
Yeah,
oh he'd scream.
yeah.
He did his Ryan Gosling scream, and then they
The
cut
the
to
nice guy scream.
Oh.
they had it, and then it cuts to Barbie in jail. But they were like, well, we can't have the scream and the cut too. We have to pick one, and they did the cut too.
Wait, what? You
Yeah,
can't have Barbie punching the cup, Ken going and then just cut to them in jail. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
that would
you
be
can even have it like
hilarious.
start to, and then you don't
yeah. Well,
see him.
No,
You have to cut it off halfway.
yeah, you have to cut the screen. Yeah, obviously, like I would think
Perfectly
you
cut
have to cut
screens.
the
Yeah.
scream halfway. Just
So, what did we rate this?
F.
Because I'm giving F.
D minus.
What'd you say, Ruthie?
D minus.
Okay, yeah.
Because I want my Fs to mean something. And I don't think this is quite worth the F. Because there's just a lot of. It's like an atom. There's a lot of nothing in there.
Yeah,
A lot more nothing than something.
the way I described it to my friends is that it also felt just a bunch of random shit slapped together and just like put together. Like
Yeah,
there
it felt
was
like
no
AI
like
sci-fi.
cohesion. Yeah, there was, and the biggest issue with that was like there was no character development for the crew that they built at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was soulless.
Mm-hmm. Like they didn't have to include all this shit from like Cora's backstory and like her being the daughter of Belisarius at all in this first one. They just had to have that one. We need to hold off them when they come to attack us. That's all they needed, and you can add little hints there and there, but you don't need to tell me that. Also, yes, the opening scene is still vagina shit,
Yes, it has
but
to be.
literally mm, just a little bit of the narration, just like setting up, like not super backstory, but just like, hey, Imperium, King Queen daughter was great. They got assassinated. Here you go. And like with that, there's a power struggle with like the
The
leading
regent.
generals or whatever, regents and multiple regions and stuff. And Belisarius is the most powerful, and in looking to be the new king, looking to be the new Padishah emperor. It's crazy because in the book it said that the emperor is 70, but looks no older than Leto Atreides.
And we're getting Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Yeah,
Well,
because
and he's
like
supposed to be like a
the
full on
spice is
redhead.
supposed to. He's supposed to be a redhead.
What
Yeah.
if they de-age Christopher Walken?
No, we saw the
No,
trailer.
we already saw
I didn't see
Christopher
the
Walken.
trailer.
Right.
He looks just like Christopher Walken.
All right.
It's
But
gonna be
yeah, he's
interesting to
supposed
hear
to be a
his voice.
redhead, and he's supposed to look around 30, a little bit older than 30.
And he has just enough spice in it. That the reason is he has just enough spice in his diet, but not enough to dye his eyes.
Yeah, because the spice extends your lifetime too.
So what have you guys? Anything new with you guys? I know what Ruthie's gonna say.
My computer's dead. Current
Yeah.
SSD died, and this is the one that had Windows. I have another solid state drive, but it doesn't have Windows, so it doesn't work.
Anything?
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Magnus Archives. Listen to it. It's pretty good.
Ed, where are you at right now?
Season 3, the very beginning.
Just started season 3. Isn't
Yeah.
it good? Like that whole bit, like from 77 to like
Yeah,
80, 81, just
it's 80.
Yes.
It's
Let's
80. Yeah,
talk about
it's
a
really good.
better
But like, okay,
podcast than
if you do listen to, yeah, you're talking about another podcast. Okay, whatever. Blue Eye Samurai, very good
that was a
show.
joke, Ed. You're fine. But
Blue
Blue
Eye
Eye Samurai
Samurai,
after it's good. No,
very
I'm talking
good.
about the
Yeah, Magnus
pod.
Archives.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
very very good. I highly recommend it. There are some character decisions they make that I like. Just say that much. Like I say what you want about, like, subverting expectations is getting old. Like, not like people are saying, like, not subverting my expectations is now subverting my expectations,
yeah,
and I
because you're
feel
expecting the plot twist.
that's still I still don't feel that that's true. I still feel like everything's still way too marvelized and everything's still playing it way too safe. That there are some good subversions, and Blue Eye Samurai does it very well. On on a specific, one very specific scene. You know, two scenes. Yeah,
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
You can go next, Ruthie. I know what you're gonna say.
So for Christmas,
Yeah.
Hector and I both we didn't just get one copy, we got two, and not for the reason you think, it's stupider. We got two copies of Baldur's Gate, one on Hector's laptop and one on the PS5. Not so we could play together, we play together on the PS5.
I'll be able to mod it. Also, we'd be fighting for PS5 time all the time. So
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
can't run it on my laptop.
if you're enough, okay.
And also a really cool, awesome, lovely person, maybe in the podcast with us, who's to say, really, got me a really fun TTRPG of another podcast that's also very good. The Old Gods of Appalachia, the tabletop RPG. The game looks super fun. I am manhandling my D&D group to force them to play it with me, and I
Mhm.
cannot wait.
She's
Thank you,
ready.
Boomer.
She's ready to take a break from D&D.
I need a little break.
I am ready to take a big break, but I'm 2/3 of the way through my campaign and I can't stop. So I'm just gonna keep it going.
So yeah,
I recent the three of us went to a really cool concert.
we did.
If anyone knows Sean James, Through the Valley, The Guardian, The Last of Us 2. Have you seen the original trailer for The Last of Us 2, where Ellie sings that one song? Yeah, the guy who sang that.
I feel like if there was a folk buddy cop movie. Hear me out. I know this sounds weird, but
What the fuck? Keep
Ooh.
going.
if there was a buddy cop music, but it was like folk country kind of vibes, it would be Sean James and Hosier.
What do you? Oh, Buddy Cop, but a serious movie.
Buddy cop, but without the cop, and they're both like music folk country.
You can have like two
bluesy
bandits
type.
running away.
Okay, here's the vibe.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna reshoot a movie that doesn't exist. Sean James.
This is your elevator pitch.
This is my elevator pitch. Sean James is a cowboy outlaw running from the law. He falls into a bog, pulls a man out of the bog. It's Hosier. That's my movie.
So like how Kiwi finds Jeremy in our campaign.
No, because it's not in a barrel. He's just in a
I
bog.
know.
Like whole ass in a bog.
He'd be dead.
Oh, in a bog.
No, he's a druid. He's like a druidy bog man.
Sean James and the Bog Man. Okay.
Yeah.
John James in the bog.
That.
Okay.
Okay.
Elevator pitch over.
But yeah, go. It was amazing. He had an organ. He had a acoustic.
He did not touch the organ though.
I don't know if the organ is still like
operational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It was fucking massive though. It
That's
was like
pretty
the
too.
ones that we saw when we were in London.
Yeah.
A little smaller, not by much.
Well, except for that one in London, that was gigantic.
Most of the ones that we saw were pretty.
There was
massive.
one that was like 2 stories. I'm pretty sure.
Well, one was throughout the entire church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about that one. The one that just like goes around the entire church.
Yes.
St. Paul's, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to hear it, sadly.
Unfortunately.
We're gone deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go deaf at that metal concert, February 16th.
Nice.
Fit for a King, Devil Wears Prada. Definitely gonna go deaf there. But I'll
earplugs.
bring some earplugs just in case. Just in case.
There's earplugs. There's special earplugs where you can wear them without. You can still hear perfectly. They just protect the one part of your ear that you need to protect.
I'll look into those. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. Hey, who's the next one? I think it's Hector, or is it Ruthie? After
I had
him?
an idea for an off brand idea.
Okay.
It's New Year. Should we look back at the top ones of the year?
I don't
Last
want.
year?
I don't want to listen to you guys fight.
We're not gonna fight.
Started fighting in the
I still
group
did
chat.
to watch a
Different.
bunch of movies that just came out.
Okay, so no,
What
well,
if we
like-
just did the Isaacs again?
we'd have. That's a lot of work
Okay.
Yeah.
because we have to do best for different categories. We have to watch more movies.
No,
Arguably,
we can just do like a top 10 kind of thing.
yeah, we're not gonna actually fight. I just jokingly fight with that in
I still
group chat.
I still want to watch like Poor Things and Maestro. And
I want to see Poor Things also.
at least Maestro's on Netflix.
Which one?
Maestro.
Oh, I don't want to see Maestro.
Bradley
It's
Cooper.
just Bradley Cooper trying to force himself to get an Oscar, almost
Sure,
rigging it
whatever.
to give himself an Oscar.
Sure. What else is there that I want to watch Saltburn. I still haven't watched Bottoms, Holdovers. Like I have a bunch of movies to watch.
Oh, I liked the holdovers. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we can add the socials and post.
Yeah.
Yes,
always
but
do.
but Hector and Ruthie, I don't know who's next. What is our next film?
After this,
Yeah,
after
what
the
should
top
we
10?
watch?
After top 10, because that's a
After
bonus.
top 10.
Is it me or me?
It's you.
You know what? We got a request recently.
We did.
We got. Oh, so we have one from an. We have one. Yeah, one of them wanted to join for one of the requests. So we'll let. But Lord Reverend D, a friend of the pod, asked us to do Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. So, why about we do that one?
All right.
We got time.
Yeah.
After the top 10.
After top 10.
Okay. Yeah, we can do Average Children. I've already seen it, but there's a lot of movies that we've done in our podcast that I've already seen. So
Yeah. All right. If this episode goes longer, we can just call it the Snyder Cut. All right.
Snyder Cut podcast reshoot, yeah. Snyder reshoot.
#reshoot cut.
Reshoot
Yeah.
cut.
If the social post for this episode gets 10 likes, I'll post the reshoot cut.
Just
I can
the
actually
unedited
add.
version.
I can actually. No, I got an idea for the reshoot cut. All right, I'll tell afterwards. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Today's film was Rebel Moon, directed by Zack Snyder. The screenplay was written by Zack Snyder, Kurt Johnstad, and Shay Hatton. Zack Snyder was also the cinematographer. Now, even though we don't necessarily like this movie, we do hope you go show some love to their various social media accounts. They did make a movie, which is more than we can say here. Now, our next episode will be our top 10s of 2023. Place your bets on what might happen. My money is that Hector and Ed are going to gang up on me for some of my hot takes. Goodbye.